The starship Horizon Dawn drifted silently through the endless expanse of space. Captain Elena Ray stood on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the glowing star ahead. It was a small sun, a pale yellow circle in the vast darkness, but around it, the sensors had detected something extraordinary, a planet unlike any human had ever seen. "Commander Voss," Elena said, turning to her second-in-command, "prepare the landing party. I want full scans of the surface before we touch down." Voss nodded. "Yes, Captain. But sensors are showing heavy life signatures, something intelligent and unusual." Elena felt a shiver of excitement. Humanity had explored dozens of worlds, but something about this planet felt different. The readings showed vibrant vegetation, towering crystalline structures, and strange energy fluctuations unlike anything Earth had encountered. As the landing pod descended through the planet's atmosphere, a kaleidoscope of colors unfolded below them. The forest shimmered in green and blue hues, rivers glowed faintly with a golden light, and strange creatures flitted through the trees. It was breathtaking. When they touched down, the pod's hatch opened to reveal a warm, humid air, filled with the scent of flowers and something else, something almost like electricity. Elena stepped out, her boots sinking slightly into the soft, glowing soil. She looked around. "Unbelievable," she whispered. "I've never seen anything like this." The team spread out, scanning, recording, and marveling at the alien beauty. Every plant seemed alive in a way humans couldn't understand. The rivers moved as if they had purpose. The stones glimmered faintly, and in the distance they saw structures that looked like towers made of crystal. Suddenly a voice echoed through the clearing. Not through any radio, through the air itself, human. Everyone froze. They turned, scanning for the source. From behind a cluster of glowing trees, a figure emerged. She was tall and slender, with luminescent skin that shimmered like liquid silver. Her eyes were deep pools of violet, reflecting the light around her. She wore flowing garments that seemed to move on their own as if alive. Elena stepped forward cautiously. "I am Captain Elena Ray of the human starship Horizon Dawn. Who are you?" The alien woman's voice was calm but firm. "I am Lyra. You have arrived on Virus. This is sacred ground. You must listen carefully, human. You cannot take just one. By ancient oath, you must protect us all." Elena blinked. She had expected intelligence, maybe curiosity, but not words. Words that carried power and warning. "Protect you? All of you?" she asked. "We're explorers, not conquerors. We mean no harm." Lyra's eyes seemed to pierce into Elena's mind. "Intentions are not enough. In the past, those who tried to take even one of us brought ruin upon themselves. You must understand the oath before you step further." The landing party paused, exchanging uneasy glances. Voss whispered to Elena, "Captain, should we proceed?" "This could be dangerous," Elena nodded slowly. "We proceed, but with respect. Everyone, stay alert and follow my lead." Lyra moved closer. Her presence radiated calm and strength at the same time. "The Lyrians have lived on Virus for millennia. Our people are tied to the planet, and the planet is tied to us. Take one away and the balance is broken. Life itself could be endangered." A shiver ran down Elena's spine. She had seen destruction in space before. Wars, plagues, accidents, but this was different. The stakes were not just human lives. They were talking about the survival of an entire civilization. One of the scientists, Dr. Kellen, stepped forward. "Are you saying that even one of your people removed from Virus could be catastrophic?" Lyra nodded slowly. "It is not a threat. It is truth. You humans are strong, clever, and capable of great deeds. But this is beyond strength. This is about honor, respect, and protection. If you wish to walk on this world, you must understand that we are not objects to take, but lives to defend." Elena looked around at her crew. She could see the wonder in their eyes, but also the weight of the responsibility. She thought of Earth, of how humanity often misunderstood other civilizations, sometimes with devastating consequences. She felt a sense of purpose rising within her. A duty not just to explore, but to protect life wherever it existed. "I understand," she said finally. "We will respect your people and your planet. We are explorers, not thieves. We are here to learn, not to take." Lyra's eyes softened slightly. "Good, your words are wise. Many before you have spoken like this. Few have truly understood. Come then, see what you may, but remember, your actions will echo far beyond this moment. Every choice matters." The crew followed Lyra through the alien forest. The ground beneath their feet glowed faintly, lighting their path like natural lanterns. The trees swayed, though there was no wind. Strange creatures peeked from behind the foliage, some small and delicate, others large and majestic. Lyra led them to a clearing where a massive crystalline structure rose from the earth. It pulsed with a soft golden light like the heartbeat of the planet itself. Elena approached it carefully, sensing the energy radiating from it. "This," Lyra said, "is the heart of Virus. It sustains life here. It is sacred. Every being on this planet is connected to it, and it is connected to every being. Take care of it and you protect life. Harm it, and all life suffers." Elena placed her hand lightly on the crystal. A warmth spread through her, almost like the planet was alive, aware, and welcoming her. She felt a strange mix of awe and responsibility. Voss whispered, "Captain, it's incredible. I've never felt anything like this. The energy, it's alive." "Yes," Lyra said, "and it is not ours alone. It belongs to all who dwell here. You humans are guests, and your honor is tested by what you choose to do next." Elena nodded. She knew the journey ahead would not just test their courage, but their morality, their wisdom, and their compassion. In that moment, standing on the glowing soil of Virus, she understood that this was not just an exploration. It was a mission of responsibility, a chance for humans to prove that they could be protectors, not exploiters. As the sun of Virus dipped behind the crystalline towers, the Horizon Dawn crew set up camp. They studied the flora, the energy patterns, and the strange creatures, always under Lyra's watchful guidance. Every discovery was wondrous, every sound and movement a reminder that they were walking in a world older and wiser than themselves. Elena sat by a small glowing pond, looking at her reflection mixed with the shimmering waters. She whispered quietly, almost to herself, "We are here to protect, not to take. We will honor their oath, and maybe in doing so, honor ourselves as humans." The stars outside seemed to shine brighter that night, as if Virus itself acknowledged the promise of a species capable of courage, empathy, and wisdom. And somewhere in the forest, Lyra watched, knowing the humans had taken their first, careful step toward understanding the weight of an ancient oath. The morning light on Virus was unlike any dawn humans had seen before. The sky shimmered in soft hues of green and gold, and the air carried a gentle hum, almost like a song that vibrated through every living thing. Captain Elena Ray woke in her quarters aboard the Horizon Dawn, the strange beauty of the planet still lingering in her thoughts. She could hear her crew moving about, excited but cautious. Humans were explorers by nature, but Virus demanded respect. Every step they took felt measured, like walking through a living, breathing world. "Elena," Commander Voss called through the comm link, "Lyra wants to meet. She says it's important we understand something, an oath." Elena took a deep breath and followed the path marked by soft, glowing stones. Lyra was waiting in a clearing near a crystal grove. Her skin reflected the sunlight, shimmering like liquid silver, and her eyes seemed to hold centuries of wisdom. "Captain," Lyra greeted, her voice calm but filled with authority. "You have walked our land, but true understanding comes from knowledge. Sit, and I will tell you the story of the ancient oath." Elena sat on a smooth crystal formation. Around them, the air seemed to pulse gently, and even the forest seemed to lean closer, listening. "The Lyrians," Lyra began, "have lived on Virus for tens of thousands of cycles. Our people are not separate from this world. We are bound to it and it to us. Long ago we made an oath, a sacred promise to protect life here, and in return the planet protects us." Elena listened intently. "But what about those who tried to take Illyrian away?" she asked. Lyra's expression darkened slightly. "Those who sought to exploit us learned the cost. Civilizations have fallen, starships have vanished, and planets have suffered, all because one being attempted to remove Illyrian from our home. The oath is clear. To take even one is to endanger all." Dr. Kellen, the science officer, stepped forward, eyes wide with curiosity. "Are you saying the planet itself reacts if someone breaks this oath?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, Virus is alive, and its life force is linked to every being here. When the balance is broken, the planet defends itself. Those who fail to honor the oath do not survive." Elena felt a chill run down her spine. Humanity had faced dangers before. Asteroid fields, cosmic storms, hostile species, but nothing like this. The threat was not in firepower or strategy. It was in violating a principle older than most stars. "We respect your oath," Elena said firmly. "We came to explore, not to take. We want to learn and protect, not harm. Lyra's gaze softened. Words are easy, human, but understanding requires action. You must see the balance of life here, the connections that bind everything. The days on Virus passed in wonder. The humans studied the forests, the glowing rivers, and the crystal towers, while Lyra taught them about the balance of life. Captain Elena Ray felt her crew changing. They had come as explorers, but slowly they were becoming guardians. The weight of the ancient oath was sinking into their hearts. One evening, as the twin moons rose, Elena stood at the edge of camp. The air was calm, filled with soft light from the plants, but her communicator beeped sharply. Captain, Voss said, his voice tense. Long-range sensors have picked up ships entering the system. Not ours, alien. Elena's stomach tightened. She hurried to the command post. On the holo display, shapes appeared, dark, jagged ships moving with precision. Identification? She asked. Dr. Kellen's face was pale. Cross-referencing with known records. They're Krath, no doubt about it. The name sent a shiver through the room. The Krath were a ruthless species known across the stars. They raided planets, capturing beings and stripping worlds for resources. If they had come to Virus, there was only one reason. They know about the Lyrians, Elena whispered. Lyra appeared behind them, her expression grave. The Krath have hunted us for centuries. They believe our bond with Virus gives us power they can use. If they capture even one of us, they will try to twist the balance for their gain. Elena clenched her fists, and breaking the balance could destroy everything. Yes, Lyra said softly. Not just for us, for them as well. But they do not understand. They see only power to take, not life to protect. The crew exchanged uneasy glances. They had only just begun to understand the oath, and now they were being tested in the harshest way possible. What are their numbers? Elena asked. Voss tapped the display. At least 6 warships. Armed, armored, and advancing toward Virus. Our Horizon Dawn has defenses, but against them, we'd be outmatched. Elena took a deep breath. Humanity had faced impossible odds before, and if the Krath thought they could take Virus without resistance, they were wrong. Then we fight smarter, she said. We don't need to destroy them. We need to protect Virus, its people, and the oath. That means outthinking them. Lyra studied her carefully. You humans are bold, but courage must walk hand in hand with wisdom. If you are reckless, Virus will suffer. Elena nodded. We'll defend your world with care. That's our promise. The next day, the humans and Lyrians began to work together. The Lyrians had no weapons of war, but their planet itself was a fortress of nature and energy. They showed the humans how the crystalline structures could bend energy, how the glowing rivers carried power that could disrupt machines, and how the forests themselves responded to danger. Voss marveled as a line of trees bent and shifted when Lyra placed her hand on the ground. It's like the planet listens to you, he said. Lyra shook her head. Not to me. To all of us. We are only part of the song. Virus sings and we answer. Elena considered this. Then maybe we can use that song. If Virus can move and respond, perhaps we can turn the planet itself into our shield. Together they formed a plan. The Lyrians would guide Virus to disrupt the Krath ships as they approached the surface, while the humans used the Horizon Dawn to draw the invaders into dangerous terrain. A dense asteroid field orbiting the planet. Risky, Voss said as they studied the maps. Everything is risky, Elena replied. But if we don't stand, Virus falls. And if Virus falls, humanity fails its oath. As the Krath ships entered orbit, the battle began. The dark warships fired beams of energy at the planet's surface, but their weapons were scattered and weakened as they hit the shimmering atmosphere. Virus itself seemed to resist, bending the blasts away. From the ground, the Lyrians sang in unison, their voices harmonizing with the hum of the crystals. The forests glowed brighter, the rivers surged, and great waves of energy pulsed upward, striking the Krath ships with bursts of interference. On the Horizon Dawn, Elena sat firmly in the captain's chair. Engage evasive maneuvers. Lead them toward the asteroid belt. The sleek human ship darted through space, firing controlled bursts from its cannons just enough to irritate the Krath and keep their focus. The larger warships followed, roaring in fury, their weapons blazing. Inside the asteroid field, Elena gave the order. Cut speed. Use the rocks as cover. The Horizon Dawn weaved between tumbling boulders of ice and stone. The Krath, larger and less agile, smashed against the asteroids. Explosions flared as 2 of their ships were crippled. Elena's crew cheered, but she raised her hand. Focus, it's not over yet. Meanwhile, on the ground, the Lyrians guided Virus itself in defense. Crystals rose from the soil like spears, blocking landing craft. Rivers shifted course, swallowing machines whole. The creatures of the forest moved in packs, striking at intruders with uncanny coordination. Dr. Kellen watched in awe. "It's like the planet is alive." "Fighting with us," Lyra turned to him. "It does not fight for us. It fights with those who respect it. You are part of the balance now, human." The bond between the two species deepened in those desperate hours. Humans brought strategy, courage, and adaptability. Lyrians brought harmony, wisdom, and the living strength of their world. Together they stood against the Krath. Back in orbit, Elena saw the remaining enemy ships regroup. They were furious now, firing wildly. One beam struck near the surface, shaking the forests. Elena's heart pounded. "Status of Virus?" she demanded. Lyra's voice came through the calm but urgent. "We are holding, but the balance strains. If they strike deeper, the heart of Virus may be endangered." Elena gritted her teeth. "We can't let that happen. Helm, bring us about. Target their flagship." Voss looked at her sharply. "Captain, that's suicide." "Not if we're smart," Elena said. "The asteroids are unstable. If we hit the right one at the right time." She outlined the plan quickly. The Horizon Dawn darted toward the flagship, dodging fire, weaving through the chaos. At the critical moment, Elena gave the command. Fire. A blast shot from the Horizon Dawn, striking a massive asteroid just as the flagship passed beneath it. The rock shattered, raining debris across the enemy ship. The explosion lit the void like a small sun. The Krath flagship was torn apart, fragments scattering into the darkness. The remaining warships faltered, their formation broken. Seeing their leader destroyed, they pulled back, limping out of orbit. Silence returned to the skies. On the ground, the forest quieted, the rivers calmed, and the crystals dimmed to a soft glow once more. Elena slumped back in her chair, exhausted but proud. "Status?" Voss grinned. "Virus is safe. For now." Lyra appeared on the comm screen. Her expression was calm, but her eyes shone with gratitude. "You have fought with wisdom and courage. You honored the oath, not by taking, but by protecting. Virus knows your strength now." Elena felt a wave of relief. Humanity had been tested, and for once they had not failed. But deep in her heart she knew this was only the beginning. The Krath would return. Others would come. And the oath was not a single battle. It was a lifelong promise. As the stars glittered over Virus, Captain Elena Ray whispered to herself, "We will protect you." "All of you?" That's what it means to be human. And somewhere in the glowing forest below, Virus itself seemed to hum in quiet agreement. The stars above Virus shimmered like cold fire, but beneath their beauty, danger lingered. The Krath warships had retreated, yet Captain Elena Ray knew it was only a matter of time before they returned. Predators like the Krath did not give up easily. On the surface, the Lyrians sang quietly to their crystals, restoring balance to the planet after the fight. Glowing rivers shifted back into calm channels and the forests hummed with peace. But that peace was fragile. Everyone could feel it. "We bought time," Elena said as she stood with Commander Voss and Lyra near the heart of Virus. "But they'll come back stronger. Next time we need more than luck. We need a plan that lasts." Lyra's violet eyes glimmered. "Virus can resist, but the Krath's hunger is endless. Their numbers are many. Your courage is great, but courage alone will not save us." Dr. Kellen added, "Our ship is powerful, but we can't hold off an entire fleet by ourselves. We need to use everything, human strategy and Lyrian harmony, together." Elena nodded. "Then let's build something new. A defense no one has seen before. One that uses both our strengths." That night, humans and Lyrians gathered. It was the first true council between their species. Crystals glowed gently around the meeting place, lighting the faces of explorers and alien guardians alike. Elena addressed the group. "The Krath want to break this world because they see it as treasure. They think if they take one of you, they will gain power. But what they don't understand is that Virus itself is the power, and you are part of it. That is something we can protect if we work together." Lyra raised her hand and the crystals responded with a soft hum. Virus can bend its energy to shield and confuse, but it needs direction, purpose. Your human minds are quick and sharp. With our harmony and your strategy, perhaps we can weave a defense they cannot overcome. Elena turned to her crew. "Ideas!" Voss leaned forward. "If we can lure the Krath again, maybe into low orbit, we can use Virus's energy to disrupt their weapons. Then the asteroid belt can finish what we started before. Dr. Kellen shook his head. That worked once. They'll expect it now. What we need is unpredictability. A battlefield that changes faster than they can adapt. Lyra listened, her expression thoughtful. The smoke of battle had cleared, but its shadow still rested heavy on Virus. The forest glowed again. The rivers sang with peace, and the crystals pulsed gently like a heart returning to calm after strain. Yet Captain Elena Ray knew the fight was not truly over. The Krath had been pushed back, but not destroyed. They would return, maybe with allies, maybe with more hunger than before. For now, though, the planet was safe, and that safety gave time for questions. In the heart of Virus, the Lyrians gathered with the human crew once more. The tall crystal spires lit the chamber in silver-blue light, casting reflections on the walls. Lyra stood at the center, her voice calm but serious. You fought bravely, she said. You risked your lives not for treasure, not for power, but for a promise. For this, Virus honors you. The ancient oath has been renewed. You are guardians now. Elena bowed her head slightly. We did what was right. But I must be honest. Humanity, when my people, are explorers. We came here seeking knowledge. And now, after what we've seen, we still want to learn. That desire doesn't vanish just because we fought together. Lyra's violet eyes searched Elena's face. Knowledge is not forbidden, but knowledge without responsibility destroys. The Krath are proof of this. They seek only power, and with it they ruin what they touch. Dr. Kellen stepped forward, his hands clasped behind his back. Captain, if we could study these crystals more closely, maybe even bring a fragment back to Earth, think of what we might achieve. New energy healing, defenses stronger than any weapon. Humanity could grow beyond its limits. The Lyrians stirred uneasily, their voices murmuring like distant thunder. Lyra raised her hand and silence fell. To take even one crystal is to wound Virus. It is not stone, it is life. It belongs to all of us, not one species. If you carry it away, the balance breaks. Elena stood between her crew and the Lyrians, feeling the weight of the moment. So we are bound by the oath. Protect all, not just ourselves. That means we cannot take without care. But Captain, Kellen pressed, his voice urgent, what if refusing this knowledge leaves humanity weak? What if the Krath return in numbers we cannot match? Then what good is our oath if we fall with it? The chamber was quiet. Both humans and Lyrians looked to Elena. She felt the choice like a stone in her chest. That night, Elena walked alone among the glowing forests. The air was cool, the hum of the crystals soft in the distance. She needed space to think. Lyra found her there, her presence quiet as the wind. You are troubled, Elena sighed. My people trust me to bring something back. Proof that the journey mattered. If I return empty-handed, some will say we wasted our chance. But if I take from you, I betray the oath. And worse, I betray the bond we've built. Lyra touched a nearby tree, its bark glowing faintly at her hand. When my people first sang to Virus, we too struggled with desire. We wanted more power, more harmony, more light. But the planet taught us. To take too much is to break what you seek to protect. In the end, we learned that true strength is not in possession but in guardianship. Elena looked up at the twin moons. Guardianship. Humanity isn't used to that role. We've always reached, always stretched for more. Maybe too much. Lyra tilted her head. Then perhaps it is time for humanity to grow in a new way. You have proven courage in battle. Can you now prove wisdom in restraint? Elena didn't answer right away. The question echoed inside her long after Lyra left her alone under the moons. The next morning, Elena called her crew together in the council chamber. The Lyrians were present too, their crystal voices humming softly in the background. We need to decide, Elena began. Do we honor the oath fully, or do we bend it to serve our own needs? The choice is ours. Kellen looked restless. Captain, I respect the Lyrians, but if we refuse to take what Virus offers, we may be leaving humanity defenseless. That's not bending the oath, it's survival. Commander Voss crossed his arms. And if we break trust, we'll lose allies. We'll stand alone against the Krath. Survival isn't just about weapons, it's about unity. The crew murmured, divided. Elena raised her voice. Listen, humanity came here looking for answers. We found something greater. A people who trusted us, a world alive with power, and an oath that binds us not to one group but to all. If we break that now, we are no better than the Krath. Kellen shook his head. So we return empty-handed? No, Elena said firmly. We return with something better. Not stolen crystals, not broken trust. We return with allies, with knowledge freely shared, and with the promise that humanity is more than a race of takers. We are protectors. For a moment silence filled the chamber. Then Voss nodded. I stand with the captain. One by one the rest of the crew agreed. Kellen hesitated, his eyes heavy with doubt, but at last he sighed and bowed his head. Very well. I will trust your judgment. Lyra stepped forward, her expression warm. You have chosen wisely. Virus will share what it can without harm. Songs, teachings, ways of harmony. You may carry these back to your world, not as treasure but as gift. Elena felt a weight lift from her heart. The oath had held. Humanity would not walk the same path as the Krath. In the days that followed, the Lyrians opened their archives. They taught the humans how to weave energy in small ways, how to guide light into healing, how to shape the land without breaking it. No crystal was taken, but the knowledge itself was vast and rich. Dr. Kellen, though still restless, threw himself into learning. Even without crystals, he admitted to Elena, this could change everything. Medicine, energy, even agriculture. We could heal worlds instead of consuming them. Elena smiled faintly. That's the lesson Virus wants us to learn. But peace never lasted long in the galaxy. On the sixth evening, as humans and Lyrians shared food beneath the glowing trees, the stars flickered with unnatural light. A message arrived from the edge of the system. Voss read it aloud, his voice grim. Krath fleet sighted. Larger than before. They're not retreating this time. They're coming with everything. The gathering fell silent. Elena looked at Lyra, then at her crew. Her voice was steady, though her heart pounded. Then this is the final test. We chose the oath. We chose to protect. Now we will prove it. Against all odds. Lyra's eyes burned with determination. You will not stand alone. Virus sings with you, and together we will face the storm. Under the starlit sky, the promise of battle loomed again. But this time, humanity and Lyrians were not simply allies of necessity. They were bound by trust, by choice, and by the oath that had changed them all. And as the Krath drew near, Elena felt something she had not before. Not fear, not doubt, but strength. The strength of knowing humanity was no longer just a seeker of worlds. They were guardians of them. The stars above Virus grew dark as the Krath fleet arrived. This time it was not a raid, not a test. It was war. Dozens of jagged ships cut through the night, blotting out the moons. Their engines burned like fire, their weapons already glowing with power. On the ground, the Lyrians gathered at the heart of Virus. Their crystal voices trembled, not with fear but with fierce resolve. Humans stood beside them, checking weapons, scanning the sky, readying the horizon dawn for flight. Captain Elena Ray looked at her crew, then at Lyra. Her voice was calm, strong. We swore to protect all. That oath is tested now. This time we don't just defend Virus. We defend everyone who might suffer if the Krath win. Lyra's eyes shone like violet fire. The song of Virus is ready. The planet itself will rise with you, Elena nodded. Then let's fight. Together. When the Krath hailed them, their leader's voice was a hiss of cruelty. Humans, Lyrians, you had your chance to surrender. Now we erase you. Your planet will be stripped. Your lives will be fuel for our hunger. Elena stood firm on the bridge of the horizon dawn. Her reply was steady, her tone unshaken. You will not touch this world. You will not touch any world. As long as humans draw breath, we will stand against you. By oath and by choice, we are guardians now. Laughter echoed across the comms. One ship? One fragile world? Pathetic. You will break like glass. But Elena only whispered to her crew, let's show them what glass can do when it cuts. The battle began like a storm. The Krath fired first. Beams of energy rained down from orbit, searing the sky. The horizon dawn darted upward, weaving between blasts, returning fire with sharp precision. On the ground, Lyrians raised their voices in harmony, crystals pulsing with light. The forests shifted, rivers surged, and great shields of energy rose above the land like glowing mountains. The Krath ships roared into low orbit, hammering at the defenses. But Virus did not break. It sang. Elena's orders were sharp and clear. Draw their smaller ships toward the surface. Force them into the maze. Don't give them clean shots. Commander Voss grinned fiercely. On it, Captain. The horizon dawn skimmed the atmosphere, engines blazing. Krath fighters chased, only to crash against shifting forests, exploding rivers, and sudden crystal towers rising like spears. Virus fought with every breath, every heartbeat. Still, the Krath were many. For every fighter destroyed, 2 more pressed forward. For every warship slowed, another powered its weapons. The sky burned with their fury. Dr. Kellen shouted from his station. "Captain, their flagship is powering some kind of disruptor. It's targeting the heart of Virus directly." Elena's eyes hardened. If the heart was destroyed, the planet would fall silent. The song would end. And with it, the oath. Then that's our targ.